Before the world heard about Sean Paul or Beanie Man, there was Shabba Ranks, the man who took dancehall music to the global stage. However, was he all spotless, and did he remain in the spotlight?
Great. You know what I mean? It's like a lady having a nice baby.
And then you did it again the next year.
Well, it's the second baby.
It's the second.
Shabba Ranks wasn't just another artist who came from the streets of Kingston. He was a cultural force who went from living in poverty in Seaview Gardens to winning Grammy Awards and achieving fame. Shabba became the first dancehall artist to break into international charts and bring Jamaican patois to global airwaves, especially in the UK and US. His journey is one worth sharing on your screen, so we implore you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the real story behind the man who helped to redefine Caribbean music for the world. As of 2025, the estimated net worth of Shabba Ranks is reported to be approximately $1.5 million. Most of his wealth is attributed to the peak of his career in the early 1990s, when he signed major deals with Epic Records and embarked on multiple world tours. His albums, such as Raw as Ever and Extra Naked, sold well both in Jamaica and internationally, earning him 2 Grammy Awards. He also earned money through collaborations with artists such as Maxi Priest, Queen Latifah, and Johnny Gill, which helped to propel his music into the American market. Shabba's songs were also licensed for use in movies, commercials, and radio shows, which was another way he generated additional income. One of his biggest hits, Mr. Loverman, has been reused numerous times, earning him a substantial fortune for years. Despite stepping away from the spotlight, his old music continues to generate a steady income through streaming platforms and radio play. He is not known to be involved in any flashy business ventures, but reportedly, Shabba is invested in real estate in both Jamaica and possibly the United States, which has also helped to keep his finances stable.
All them boys in England roaring.
Shabba Ranks was born Rexton Ralston Fernando Gordon on the 7th of January, 1966 in Sturgetown, which is a countryside town in St. Ann Parish, Jamaica. Life was far from easy for him because when he was still a boy, his father passed away, leaving his mother, Constance Christie, to raise him and his siblings on her own. She did small jobs to make ends meet, but it wasn't enough. The family eventually relocated to Seaview Gardens, which is a government housing community in the city of Kingston. Kingston is known for poverty, violence, and vibrant street culture, but the area was filled with both hardship and rhythm. He was reportedly to be deeply influenced by reggae and early dancehall pioneers like Josie Wales, U-Roy, and Yellowman, because these artists didn't just entertain, but they told real stories. As a young teenager, Shabba was always reported to attend local street parties and sound system events, watching as DJs and toasters hyped the crowd. He started to try it himself, practicing daily, mimicking flows, and then creating his own blend. He first performed under the name Co-Pilot before finally choosing the name Shabba Ranks. He was different due to his deep, rough voice, bold lyrics, and strong presence, but unlike others, he wasn't afraid to speak directly and confidently. Even in his school days, his teachers and classmates reportedly noticed his love for words, rhythm, and performance. By the middle of this teenage era, Shabba had fully embraced the sound system culture and joined top crews like Roots Melody and later Kilimanjaro, where his lyrical skills were sharpened in sound clashes and street battles. His teenage years were filled with hustle, traveling from dance to dance, performing for little or no pay, just so that he could be heard. However, through his struggles, his hunger didn't fade. It grew stronger and made his confidence and talent begin to make things work for him in the local music scene. Shabba Ranks' professional career began to take shape in the mid-1980s when he took a bold step by moving from performing at local dances and sound system clashes to recording actual singles in the studio. His early tracks were produced by notable figures like King Jammy, one of the most influential producers of the time. Songs like Needle Eye Pum Pum and Wicked in a Bed were raw, energetic, and bold. They also perfectly matched the spirit of the streets that raised him, and these songs made him a local star, putting his voice in rotation on Jamaican radio and in dancehall parties across the island. In a short time, Shabba became one of the most popular names in the dancehall industry at the local level until he was signed to Digital B, and from there caught the attention of Epic Records, a major U.S. label at the time. That move marked the beginning of a transformation that would change everything for him. Shabba released several albums under the Epic label that introduced his music to both local and international audiences. His 1991 album, which is titled As Raw as Ever, and the 1992 follow-up Extra Naked, marked the peak of his success in the industry. These albums had major hit songs like Trailer Load of Girls, Ting-a-Ling, and the worldwide smash Mr. Loverman, which became his signature track. His songs blended hardcore dancehall with elements of hip-hop, giving him crossover appeal. He is reportedly one of the first Jamaican DJs to blend patois with English in a way that allows international listeners to enjoy the music without losing its dancehall identity. He toured across the United States, Europe, and Africa, with tickets to his tour venues selling out completely. He performed for crowds and represented the Jamaican music industry on big stages. Throughout the early to mid-90s, Shabba collaborated with several American artists, including KRS-One, Queen Latifah, Johnny Gill, Chubb Rock, and Maxi Priest. These partnerships helped to push his dancehall career deeper into the U.S. market, and they also laid the groundwork for future artists in the dancehall industry to find international success. Even though his mainstream momentum slowed down by the late 1990s, Shabba Ranks had already made his mark in the industry, as he not only became famous, but also helped to open the doors for dancehall to become a global genre. His songs were not only catchy, but they carried the weight of street life, love, sexuality, and cultural pride. With all this success came major recognition, and this recognition was the kind that put his name in the history books of Caribbean music. Shabba Ranks holds a place in music history as one of the first dancehall artists to gain global fame and also to break into the international music charts. His most notable achievement came when he won the Grammy Award for Best Reggae Album twice, and it was 2 years in a row, with the first being in 1992 for the album As Raw as Ever, and the second in 1993 for the album Extra Naked. This made him the first dancehall DJ to win a Grammy, marking the beginning of a new era for the genre. Before Shabba, other reggae artists such as Bob Marley and Jimmy Cliff had paved the way. However, Shabba brought the more aggressive street-based dancehall sound into mainstream spaces such as MTV and American radio. His hit single, Mr. Loverman, became a worldwide anthem that charted in both the UK and the US and remains widely recognized to this day. This song opened doors not only for himself, but for other dancehall artists to enter the international scene, and tracks like Ting-a-Ling, Trailer Load of Girls, Respect, and Dembo were also influential. Dembo is reported to have later served as the rhythmic foundation for what has now become reggaeton, the Latin genre that dominates global charts today, making Shabba's work even more well-known than many realize. Beyond the Grammys, Shabba Ranks also received multiple international awards, including Billboard Music Awards, MOBO nominations, and accolades from Jamaican music institutions for his contributions to the culture. He also received invitations to perform on top platforms, including the Arsenio Hall Show, MTV Unplugged, and other major European festivals, which was a rare honor for Jamaican artists in that era. His influence extends beyond just awards, as it is said that he helped normalize Jamaican patois in pop music and inspired a generation of artists, including Sean Paul, Beanie Man, Bounty Killer, and other American rappers who admired his flow and delivery. By the mid-90s, Shabba Ranks had not only collected trophies. These trophies had confirmed his legacy as a pioneer who helped to shape the future of dancehall, reggae fusion, and international black music as a whole. With his name solidified among legends, Shabba began to enjoy the lifestyle that came with success, from luxury homes to flashy cars and more. At the height of his fame in the early 1990s, Shabba Ranks adopted a lifestyle that reflected his global status. becoming known for his signature gold chains and custom leather outfits. He quickly became a symbol of wealth and swagger in the dancehall world. His look was always impeccable, ranging from designer jackets to crocodile skin boots, and he made sure fans understood that he had moved from poverty to prosperity. That being said, Shabba was never shy about how he enjoyed the rewards of his success. Although there are no public records of the cars he owned, it's believed that he owned multiple vehicles during his prime years, including a BMW convertible, a Toyota Land Cruiser, and other luxury rides that he often showcased in his music videos and public appearances. When it came to owning properties, Shabba is believed to have invested in real estate in both Jamaica and the U.S., although he's always been private about the exact details. He reportedly owned a comfortable home in Florida, where he lived quietly for several years after stepping back from the public spotlight. Additionally, it's said that he also maintained a residence in Jamaica. Despite being out of the public eye in more recent years, those who have reportedly seen him say he still carries himself with the confidence of a man who knows what he has built for himself and the genre. He may no longer flaunt his lifestyle the way he once did, but the wealth he earned during his peak years has allowed him to live comfortably and support his family without constantly seeking the spotlight. While money and fame brought luxury, Shabba has made it clear in interviews that his biggest asset wasn't material things, but the freedom to come and go as he pleased while living peacefully so that he could be remembered on his terms. At the center of that peaceful life is one key pillar he doesn't joke about: his family. Shabba Ranks is known to have always kept his personal life out of the spotlight, as that's how he's chosen to protect his loved ones from the noise of fame. He is said to have been married for many years to his wife, Michelle Gordon, and she has been by his side since before the peak of his career. Together, Shabba and Michelle have raised two sons, Rexton Gordon Jr. and Jawan Ranks. Both children were primarily raised in the United States, where they reportedly lived a more private and grounded life, away from the media's constant scrutiny and pressure. Rexton Jr., the eldest, has followed a path that touches on the music world, although he hasn't tried to become a star like his father. It is said that he's shown interest in music production and sound engineering. Jawan, the younger of the two, has maintained a lower profile than his brother, as he is believed to be involved in business or technology, leading to a quieter life outside the entertainment industry. Neither of the boys has reportedly tried to use their father's name for easy success, which is a reflection of how they were raised, with discipline, pride, and a strong sense of self. Shabba has expressed in rare interviews that he encouraged his sons to find their own path rather than depend on his fame. He's also spoken highly of his mother at every opportunity, crediting her for keeping him grounded during his tough upbringing in Jamaica and emphasizing that the values she taught are the same principles he has tried to instill in his children. Unfortunately, while his family life demonstrates stability and growth, Shabba Ranks' public journey hasn't been without controversy, as there have been moments that have challenged both his image and career.
Well, most definitely right now, from a forfeit the law of God Almighty, you deserve crucifixion. Most definitely.
Despite his massive success, Shabba Ranks' career was not without controversy. There is one moment in particular that nearly derailed his international rise. Though it didn't, it is said to have left a permanent mark on his public image. That moment was in the year 1992, during an appearance on Channel 4's television show, The Word. During the interview, Shabba made a deeply controversial statement that supported the execution of homosexuals, and it referenced a passage from the Bible. The backlash was immediate and intense, as viewers, activists, and media outlets quickly condemned his remarks as homophobic and dangerous. As a result of his statement and the backlash that followed, several of Shabba's scheduled appearances in the UK were canceled, and his growing list of corporate partners began to distance themselves from him. Most promoters opted out of having him on their shows. Record stores refused to stock his music, and radio stations dropped his tracks from rotation. The scandal received global attention, especially in the US and Europe, where Shabba had just began breaking into the pop market. Shabba later tried to clarify his stance by stating that his words were based on his religious beliefs and it was not intended to promote violence, but the damage had already been done. His apology, though noted, did not fully repair the public's perception of him. While many of his Jamaican fans continued to support him, his reputation in the international market never fully recovered. Apart from that incident, Shabba was also known for slack lyrics, and he was always criticized for it even before the Channel 4 scandal. His music also often included sexually explicit content and had themes of dominance, which some of his critics believed helped to encourage misogyny. Songs like Wicked in a Bed and Trailer Load of Girls were popular, but they inspired debates about the line between entertainment and harmful messaging to those who listened to them. While many of his fans viewed this as part of the dancehall culture, others, particularly in the global media, saw it as problematic. These controversies significantly impacted his career journey, resulting in a decline in Shabba's international visibility by the late 1990s. He was still respected within the dancehall community, but he was no longer invited to major festivals or TV shows in the US and the UK. Things never returned to the way they had been before, and the industry moved on to newer faces, which also led to Shabba gradually retreating from the spotlight. Despite his early success, that period of backlash remains one of the most talked about aspects of his career, as it serves as a reminder to many of how quickly public opinion can shift and how statements made in a single moment can follow an artist for decades. However, the controversies and scandals weren't the end of his story, because in the years that followed, Shabba Ranks shifted his focus and used his time and influence in other ways that went beyond music. Although Shabba Ranks stepped away from the public eye in the early 2000s, he never turned his back on Jamaica or the community that raised him, as he has reportedly given back, though quietly, over the years. He has also allegedly chosen to support several causes and individuals without drawing attention to himself. Unlike some celebrities who publicize their every donation, Shabba has preferred a low-key approach to philanthropy by doing good without seeking credit. Reportedly, one of his main areas of support has been education and community upliftment in Seaview Gardens, which is the same Kingston neighborhood where he grew up. He has reportedly donated to schools, youth programs, and community development initiatives, most of which are reportedly often through local churches or trusted community leaders, because his alleged belief has always been that education and discipline are what save youths from the path of crime and hopelessness. It is a reality he narrowly escaped himself. Shabba has also been involved in mentoring younger artists, though again not in a flashy way. Several Jamaican musicians, including those from newer generations, have mentioned in interviews that he gave them advice or guidance during their early years in the industry, and they have noted that for him, it wasn't just about staying relevant. It was about passing the torch to those who would continue what he started. His influence helped to shape not just the sound, but also the mindset of many who came after him. In recent years, Shabba Ranks has appeared at select events, including tribute shows, interviews, and stage performances, primarily in Jamaica or among Caribbean communities abroad. One notable return was at Reggae Sumfest 2012, where he received a hero's welcome. The crowd's reaction was more than enough proof that even after his years of silence, his legacy remained powerful. Shabba is also said to have become more spiritual than before. He has also spoken more in recent years about God, faith, and inner peace, and those close to him say that he has become more reflective and settled, focusing on his health, family, and living a quiet life outside of the fame that once surrounded him. Those close to him have also reported that he hasn't completely ruled out a return to music, but he now chooses to live on his own terms, speaking when necessary and staying silent when the moment calls for it. Today, Shabba Ranks stands as more than just a dancehall legend, but a survivor of fame, a teacher through music, and a reminder that even those who stumble in the spotlight can grow, give back, and find peace. His journey from Seaview Gardens to Grammy stages, through firestorms and redemption, is one of the most important stories in Jamaican music history. Shabba Ranks may no longer be in the spotlight, but his influence is evident in today's music because his story is one of resilience, legacy, and growth. So, what are your thoughts about Shabba Ranks, and do you think he will ever return to music? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more. And before you go, explore the other videos on your screen.